YouTube, what's happening? Happy Sunday to you. Appreciate you being here with me once again. Another weekend flown by. Hope you did something productive while you were here. Hope you got your mind and your body right. Hope you're trying to stay physically fit. Hope you're trying to constantly keep your mind sharp. That's where you always got to be. You don't want to be dormant in life. Not learning something new. It's hard. I know it's hard sometimes. Today, it's muggy and ugly out here. But I'm still trying to bring you content. Still trying to motivate myself to get my little small workout on. But it's tough. Sometimes you don't want to roll out of bed. Sometimes it's a little too comfortable, a little too warm. But that's just the key. You got to get out of your comfort level, your comfort zone. You got to make things happen in your life. Remember, nobody's going to give you nothing. You got to go out there and get it. You got to stand on your own 2 feet out there. You got to go get what you need. You got to go get what you want. You got to go get what you desire. If it's achievable, then it's achievable by you. If someone else was able to do it, then you're able to do it. There ain't no difference between them and you. None. They're not a better human being than you. They just found the avenue that they need to take to reach their goals. Perhaps they had assistance from someone. Perhaps they just took initiative and figured out how to get there, how to make it happen. Can't sit around waiting on others to do things for you in this life. I tell you that. I tell you that constantly, all the time. All the time. But today is my Sunday. I usually take out the truck, you know what I'm saying? Drive around a couple times, you know what I'm saying? End up at the 7-Eleven. Get my morning coffee. And my little croissant. You know what I'm saying? That's my little routine. If you don't know about them croissants, if you got a hard, dry croissant, you stick it in the microwave for 10 seconds. You're good to go. Take my word for that one. That's all you need, 10 seconds in the micro. But anyway, last couple times I ended up at this at the 7-Eleven. I met an individual, a respectable elder gentleman by the name of Richard. Very respectable. He approached me because of the truck, expressed his admiration for the truck, etc., etc. We've been talking, you know, every time we happen to run across each other, while I'm sitting out there sipping my coffee, he walks by. This gentleman is, I think he said he was 77 years old. 77 years old. African-American male. On the move. Apparently he does his routine by walking around his neighborhood. He's got a big old walking stick right by his side. I'm sure that's not just for walking either. Like I tell you, to everyone out there, you gotta be prepared. You gotta be prepared if something goes sideways. So I'm pretty sure that stick of his is dual purpose, if you know what I mean. But yeah, very respectable gentleman by the name of Richard. I actually started calling him Sir Richard because of the level of respect I have for him. But him and I were talking today, and he was telling me a little bit about his life and his past, and he wanted me to relay to the younger generation out there that you better not even think about getting yourself involved with drugs these days. Because drugs back in the day are not the same drugs today. Not to mention the simple fact that you shouldn't even be getting involved with them with them in the first place. Because if you on this channel, you already know we don't rock like that. And we don't roll like that. You know, we're trying to get you right. We're trying to get you on the right path. But if you happen to dibble and dabble into little things like that, you gotta remember they start small. But he wanted me to relay that message out there that it don't matter what you into. That's gonna take control over you. In his teenage years, when he experimented with certain things, his train of thought at that time was, I could beat whatever drug this is. That drug won't get over and take over my life. That drug is not more stronger and more powerful than me. This is the mentality Sir Richard had. And I'm assuming it beat him at some point, because it put a toll on not only his life, but his mother's life. And whatever came with that. But to his surprise, he lived through it. By the grace of God, he lived through it. But if you're messing around with those items in today's world, there's a good chance you won't live through it. Because nothing is pure out there anymore. Everything is tainted. Everything is mixed with some type of chemical or some experimental solution. The people that are creating these drugs, they don't care about you. They want to create a product that's going to get you hooked as fast as possible so that you are a repeat customer. And when you got something that gets you hooked first time around, your life is in danger. Because those chemicals, those solutions, and that finished product can easily take you out. One dose. One dose alone is all it takes. Don't experiment. Don't try something new just because your homeboy doing it. Or just because the chick that you like is doing it. Don't try to impress nobody. That might be your last day on earth. That might be the last thing you ever do in this life. So all your hopes and dreams and everything you've been working hard for to this point, it's out the window. You done wasted everybody's time, including yours. If you throw it all away because of a hit, because of a high, because of a sensation, one night of fun can put you in the box from here to eternity. I was watching a Sideshow video the other night down there from LA and how it originated on their turf. They call it takeovers. We call it sideshows where we from, in the Bay. But almost every individual in that video was high off some type of substance. Either weed, some type of fentanyl, laced drug, huffing and puffing on NOS. It don't matter. It was blatant. They made it known. They had no shame in their activities. Why? Because it's an image that they trying to uphold of being cool. You have that choice in this world. You can be cool all you want. You can be cool for the next 5 minutes. You can be cool for the next 5 years. But all it takes is that one time, that one dose of whatever it is that somebody gave you. Hey man, hit this right quick. You never know. I'm gonna tell you a quick story. I had some so-called friends that I was hanging with when I was actually in the Navy. I'd actually ended my term, but the friends that I were with were still enlisted. Happened to be at a residence of theirs. They said, hey, Peanut, hey man, take a hit of this right quick. I knew what they was doing. They were smoking weed. As far as I know. As far as I know, it was just a joint. I don't remember if I did it before or not. But it wasn't part of my life. It wasn't part of my normal routine. But I gave in to the peer pressure at that moment. At the time, I had wisdom, but I wasn't as wise as I am today. So just out of the sheer fact that I'm there with my so-called friends, when that joint got passed around, and I ended up being next, I took a puff. Nobody's perfect. But I took a puff at that time. Mid-90s. But see, the thing about your so-called friends, they're not going to tell you that that joint was laced. They're not going to tell you exactly what it is that you're partaking in. I come to find out later that it was a sherm stick. Marijuana dipped in embalming fluid. That's right, embalming fluid. All I had was one hit. And I remember the entire night to this day. I remember feeling good. I remember giggling and laughing. Everything was funny at that moment, that night. And see, you got to remember that everybody's reactions to doing drugs is always different. Some people get mellow, relaxed. Some people get violent. Some get extremely violent. Some turn deadly acts. They up the violence level to a whole nother degree. Because that drug has turned that person into someone they're not normally on a day-to-day basis. You want to be in control of all your senses at all times. Drugs will never allow you to do that. Back to the story. One puff, one hit, one night. In the state of Bremerton, Washington. Come time for me to leave. Mind you, It was the middle of winter time. Snow outside. At the time, I was going through some relationship drama. So when I left, I didn't have anywhere to go. But at the time, I was a security guard at a hospital. And I had to be to work the next day. So when I left, I'm wandering the streets with no destination. It's freezing outside. I remember walking alongside a very busy road at night. And I remember thinking, I wonder what would happen if I stepped in front of this car that's approaching me at a high rate of speed. That's the kind of thoughts I was having. Because I felt like I would live through it. I felt like I was some type of superhero. I felt invincible. But that was my train of thought. After a small dealing with the drug. Since I had no destination, I ended up at various bus stops, trying to sleep on the bus benches. I don't recall if they had an awning over it, those metal awnings. But I do remember being on that bench, on several of them, because I'm just walking the main drag for whatever reason. I had nowhere to go. Of course, you can't sleep when it's freezing outside, and you're not dressed for it. You weren't prepared for it. But that whole entire night, I walked. As I stated, that next day, I had to be at work as a security guard for a hospital. How I got there, I don't remember. How I made it through my shift, I don't remember. But what I do know is, for the next 3 days, I was never myself again. For those 3 days, I felt like I was watching my entire being from the outside in. I felt like I wasn't myself. I felt like I wasn't me anymore. And I recall very vividly praying to God, if you can shake me out of this feeling that I'm feeling, I would never do another drug again in my life. Three days of that. 3 days of thinking, man, my mind, my brain is fried. Because I didn't find out. My bad, YouTube. Let's try this again. Tripod just died on me, you know what I'm saying? Right in the heat of the moment. But again, I didn't find out till days later when I talked to these same so-called friends and asked them what the hell they had passed me that night. So for 3 days, what I call it is being stuck. I was stuck in this weird reality, this weird realm of living. My mind wasn't all there. I kept thinking weird thoughts. But God answered my prayer. Brought me back to sanity. Brought me back to reality. And I upheld my promise to never do anything stupid like that again. But that could have easily ended totally different. And see, I didn't think it was a big deal because I'm thinking it's just weed. It's just marijuana. But there's so many different things that people do to drugs to get higher and higher and higher. Their tolerance level may be through the roof with a particular drug. And they're passing that same drug on to you. That may be the level that takes you out permanently and forever. You got to be bigger and better and wiser than the next man, than the next friend. Because friends don't hand each other drugs. Friends don't hand over something to the next friend that's going to be detrimental to their life. A friend is one that's going to support you, uplift you, help you achieve your goals, help you achieve the place where you want to be, help you get there. A friend won't be that crab in the bucket that's pulling you right back down because they're not going anywhere in their life. So they want you right alongside them. So, Sir Richard, thank you for that idea for today. Look forward to seeing you possibly next weekend at our 7-Eleven meet. Keep your head up, Sir Richard. You keep on moving, stay energetic, and you got another 30 years to go. God willing. Everybody else out there, I want to see you have a long lifetime as well. But don't take yourself out over stupidity. Don't take yourself out over the crowd you choose to hang out with. Don't take yourself out over one bad decision, one bad choice, one bad idea, one bad action. There's a lot to live for in this life. Don't think your situation is so bad there ain't no hope. So you might as well just live for today. There's always a way out of your situation. Just like there was a way out of my situation. Just like the next man that has a worse situation found a way out. If you want to get out of that situation, if you want to improve your life, improve your situation, you got to take that step. Don't throw your life away. Remember, around here, we keep it all the way peanut. Peace out.